Ringside crew. Welcome to the internationally known Dudes at Ringside podcast. And now here's your host, Joe, Panther the Third.
Hello there, wrestling fans, and welcome, as the AI voice says, to the internationally known Dudes at Ringside podcast. And right, AI voice, I am Joe Panther the Third, and welcome. So today I have another awesome professional wrestler for the Island of Enchantment. My heart beats a little harder because I'm adding another awesome person to my Puerto Rico Hall of Fame. Welcome to Dudes at Ringside podcasts. Welcome.
Thank you for having me here. Excited to be a Puerto Rican in this international known podcast.
Awesome. So, who trained you?
I'm training right now on the Espiritu Pro Wrestling Dojo here in Puerto Rico. My first teacher is Mike. Uh, and actually, I'm also like Mike Mendoza. And I'm also with Christian Mendoza, that is his brother. Now I'm having more like private classes with him, but I'm a product of Spiritu Pro Wrestling Dojo.
Awesome. So, like, what kind of advice did they give you that, like, put into your wrestling style and your character, what you do with your character?
Well, my wrestling style also come because I've been an athlete my whole life. I've been doing martial arts. I do karate since I was 4 years old. I do taekwondo, and I did, but I'm not doing it right now. I did point fighting. So
Hmm.
when I start wrestling, and they tell me like you have to find a style, they always encourage me to follow the style of martial arts that I started doing since I was a child, and it's easy and well known for me. So it's been like mixing all this beautiful sport of wrestling with the knowledge that I really know, and it just created Gema.
Oh wow. So, what would you like when it comes to wrestling? Like, what was your energy like the first time you set foot in the dojo?
Well, when I get there, I didn't know if I wanted to be a professional wrestler. Actually, it was because I've been like 2 years without training a sport. Like I was training, but not training at a competitive sport, and I wanted to do something else. And I was hoping and looking if I wanted to go back to to point fighting, or I want to try something new. So I decided to try something new, and it was wrestling. And when I get there, I didn't know if I wanted to do it this professionally, but when I stepped in the ring and I did my first practice, I felt like this is my place. I want to do this. Like my whole life, I was joking around being a wrestler, but I never actually intended to do it. But when I stepped on the ring, it was like, this is my place.
Awesome. So, what would you say would be like the toughest thing you ever had to do in the training out of everything?
I will say learning to slow down.
Mm.
It's maybe people don't think about that, but I'm coming from sports that are really fast, and wrestling had taught me to be more present in the moment. So I had to learn to slow down to actually get the move that I want to do, to actually create a better show for the audience. So there's many tough stuff that I have to practice. But I will say that that was the one that I say, whoa, it took me time to actually slow down and clean the move.
Mm. So, is there anywhere else in the world or within Puerto Rico that you would like to travel to that you have not like touched yet, been to yet?
Well, in my 2024, I want to go to Mexico. This is
Mm.
the place I actually want to move there. It's been like 1 or 2 years just learning the way of wrestling, and I want to get a match on the arena. And
Mm.
after that, I want to travel. I want to learn all the ways of wrestling. So maybe Japan one day, but right now my eyes are on Mexico.
Ooh. So is there any wrestlers that you've been watching on Instagram or like on YouTube that from anywhere that you've been watching, who would they be? Like who is the wrestlers you really want to work with?
Well, I want to at least train, but I will love to get a match with Mercedes Monet. I have the
Mm.
opportunity of training with her once when she was in Puerto Rico, and it was a surprise for me because I didn't know I was going to train with her, and she's been one of my favorite wrestlers since forever. So I will love to be on the ring, actually, not only training but doing something else with her. But I've been watching a lot this kid. He's I don't know actually where from where he is. That Speedball Bailey.
Oh yeah,
I
no,
think
yeah. Speedball's from Canada. He's
for
Canadian.
Canada. I like I love his style because of the martial arts line. So I
Yeah.
watch him a lot because it gave me like more ideas of how to mix my martial arts and wrestling.
So who made that hood you wear in that in your promo picture? Like who made that? Is that you made that or?
No, I actually made like this skirt. If you saw my picture, I have like a metal skirt. I have
Mm,
a yellowy brand, and I made that skirt. But my all my gears, it's made from a Puerto Rican designer. She's called Lucia. The store is House Lucia, and she's awesome. Like she's not used to do wrestling wear, but she's been my designer since I started doing social media,
mm.
and she always understand what I want. And we take long time to design the hood, everything that feel comfortable, and it was she's awesome. Like you have to follow her, House Lucia, the best one, the best
Awesome.
designer. I love her. She's
Chef
gonna
kiss.
be
Mwah.
with me. She's gonna be with me my whole life. I can get to anywhere, any place, and I will always call her back. Like I want something new, and we will create something new. Like she's gonna be
Awesome.
with me forever.
So for you being from Puerto Rico, like most of my fans are from like the States or the UK that probably never been to Puerto Rico. Like what is like your favorite thing to like do in Puerto Rico?
Well, Puerto Rico is a beautiful island, and one of the most beautiful island actually. And I will say the awesome of Puerto Rico is that you can go around Puerto Rico in one day because
Mm,
we are actually small. So if you are a fan of nature and you want to do everything at once, like you want to go to the beach, to a river, to a mountain, you can do all that on one day. So people traveling, it's nice because you can actually enjoy the whole island in 1 week stay. I will always recommend to stay more because there's a lot of culture, a lot of nature. Like Puerto Rico is super fun. So I will say that anyone that wants to have a great vacation, something different, and be in touch with nature, Puerto Rico is the place.
awesome. So what is like your week of a show? What is your schedule normally like?
Well, right now I'm only like wrestling twice or three times a month. So I work like all the other time I'm training. I really focus on my physical training. I'm actually and also a yoga instructor. So I usually train like on the gym 6 times a week, 3 times wrestling practices, and I spend like 3 to 4 days doing yoga.
Ooh, awesome. So what do you like? What do you eat like the day of a show? Is it like you eat like a bird, only eat a little bit of food, or do you try not to eat a big meal before the show?
Well, I know many people don't like to eat before show. Maybe it's the stress or something. I eat regularly. I try to have all my carbs. Prefer like my prefer. I prefer to do it on the breakfast, but I take all my like my meals as regular. Like I don't change a lot of that because I have a really balanced diet. Like I used to be a vegetarian for 9 years. Now
Wow.
I'm eating like a little bit of fish, a little bit of eggs. So I feel like my food is not heavy, like to don't let me do something on the ring. So I try to eat regularly, a lot of water, electrolytes. That's what I eat in a on a show day.
Mm. So, like, if my fans want to like follow you on social media, how can they find you?
They can look for me as my regular name, that is Yesenia, YESENIIA, sorry, RT underscore, and all the social medias, X, Instagram, and TikTok. Or you can also look for Hema Pro Wrestler and gonna look for
Awesome.
me. They're gonna be there.
So, if anybody wanted to pick up any merch or anything of yours, how can they find it?
Well, right now I'm just working on my first drop of merch, so I don't have right now. It's gonna be in 1 to 2 weeks. We're creating some awesome shirts. But if you go to my Instagram, there's a link on my bio that you can see all my info. You can see all my matches. You can see my interviews. Probably the interview is gonna be there also, and I'm gonna put all the merch and everything there. Also, the dates of my match as also there. So if you're in case traveling to Puerto Rico or our own states and I'm be there, you're gonna see it on the link on my profile.
You got any upcoming shows that you want to talk about before we go?
Well, I have one on the 10th of December. It's gonna be the closing of my school. We do shows every month. It's called Cuatro Palabras. It's on the tribute of old wrestler from here from Puerto Rico. It's a generation wrestler that is Miguel Perez. So we're gonna be like doing this show for him, and I'm gonna be wrestling a person that I think is what it was on the in this podcast, that is Nai Robles. I'm gonna be
Yes.
wrestling her, so that's the next show for me.
You
And I
mean
have
the
a
Queen
few other days on December, but I cannot talk about that yet
of
but
Yes.
it's gonna be a surprise, and people from Puerto Rico that know that the place that are gonna be, they're gonna enjoy it.
You mean she's the queen of Hola Hola?
Hola, hola! I'm gonna be wrestling
Hola.
her.
Yeah, okay. She even has a T-shirt with it on it, and I'm like, man, she's really teaching the world how to say Hola Hola. Like, that's the only word they know is Hola. Because yeah, oh man. So I want to thank you. I mean, before we go, with it being December, um, if if you had to write a letter to your younger self, what would you write? What would you write in that letter?
I will tell my younger self to be less rebel and to have more passions, because everything that I put on my mind, I'm able to do it. So I will tell myself to just keep working like as I do, but just to take my time and not be so hard on myself, because I'm a perfectionist. So sometimes I'm hard, and I used to be like, when I was younger, used to be like really hard on myself. I've been, like I said before, I've been doing sport my whole life, so I've been like always trying to be the best, always training a lot, judging myself for the things that I cannot do. So I will tell myself that I will be able to do everything that I put on my mind. So just work as hard I'm doing it, and just enjoy the process and not be hard on myself.
I want to thank you so much for coming on the podcast. I really appreciate it. And we were talking on email and for like months. So I'm like, I have to do it tonight. I had to like see if you were busy, and you were free. So it worked fine. It worked simple. So I'm Joe Panther the third,
I'm Hema, pro wrestler.
and we will catch you in the next one. Have a good night, everybody, and enjoy your day.